Our whole mission this year for Chicago Dance Theater for our 13th season is dedicated to art and activism. And we are very excited this year about all the wonderful projects that we have going on, including Unraveling Veterans, which will have its own website. And it is a continuation of the story that I did in 2006 based on my friend Teresa Blake, whose brother came back from Iraq and 6 months later committed suicide. Unraveling Bill, we performed it in 2006 and over the past several years. And so over the couple months of talking to Teresa and to being a friend to her first and foremost, having her come over to my home and crying and trying to comfort her in the best way possible, I eventually talked to Teresa and said, you know, I feel that this story is very important, and everything that we have always done with Chicago Dance Theater has always been performance with a purpose, and that all of our work is about getting a message out there. And I told her that if she would grant it, I would love to take her story and to turn it into a dance theater piece. The setting for Unraveling Bill is Teresa Blake sitting on a bench. And it's actually the bench that she sat in and told me the story, from first how she heard the news, to going to Bill's wake, to everything that happened after they read the journals. For Bill, when he committed suicide, he went to the place where he was going to build his house with his wife, laid down the American flag, and he killed himself on it. The family didn't know why, because once again, he had been acting all strong and everything. And it wasn't until they found his journals and read them did they understand why. Later, Brenda found the journals. And at first, Tim and I were so angry with her. But after I read the journals, she was right. Iraq did change him.
Through reading Bill Blake's journals, they started to unravel his whole story of how really isolated he was and affected he was by his experiences in war, and no one around him knew it, except for his wife. They spoke about how his wife was like, oh, he's different, he changed, but everyone else around him had no idea.
The story is told through monologue, but then on stage we have 3 women who play the chorus, so much like the Greek chorus. At some points they play other soldiers, at some parts they play his wife, his family, and then there is Teresa who is dancing, and then there is Bill. I think one of the things that happens when you go through trauma is that there is the outside you and how you present yourself in the world, and then there is the inside you. I'm walking down the street looking like I'm okay, but inside I'm falling. And so it's this whole front of, yes, I'm all right, everything is fine, everything is perfect, I'm doing fine, but inside you can't make decisions, you don't know what to do. And that is one of the things that we're finding a lot with the soldiers that we're working with, is that they have to appear strong, but inside they're really unraveling.
But we're really looking into that, the effect of war on veterans, and what it really takes for veterans to really come home, and what that even means, coming home, coming back to yourself, back to your community, and if you really can.
And thanks to a grant from the Boeing Company, we have expanded the project to include websites and performances, and also to host video journals of soldiers sharing their stories of what it's like to come back. And this way is a way to preserve their stories and have a sense of history. Chicago Dance Theater Ensemble's 13th season is dedicated to art and activism, and we encourage you to come be a part of history by attending our performances, our workshops, and visiting our website for up-to-date information.